I want you to tell me, why is this fake money and why is this real money?
I think you're better qualified to do that, but it's always been that way. There was a man named the Rothschild. He says, you want to control people, you control their money. And that's why lesson number one in Rich Dad Poor Dad, rich don't work for money. Now, the reason I like gold and silver is because when you study money, what the dollar is always called counterparty risk to it. And the average guy goes, counterparty or what? A stock has counterparty risk to it. All money has counterparty risk. That means you got to trust somebody else. Like the counterparty risk of the dollar, the US dollar or any money, the yen or the peso, is you have to trust your government. If you trust your government, knock yourself out, man. Save all the money you can as a screw you. So the reason I like gold and silver, that's God's money. You read my book, Fake Money, Fake Teachers, Fake Asset. Gold and silver were here when the earth was formed. God is your counterparty. I'm not really religious, but I'm just making a point here. I trust God, which means you add L to the word God, it spells gold. Oh my jeez. Hallelujah, brother. Moses, Buddha, Muhammad. It's gold. Wake up. It's been that way for millions of years. So I'd rather trust that. Now, what about Bitcoin? I said, well, if you're a young person like you have a better chance at Bitcoin than me just because of age and experience. But Bitcoin is still susceptible to an EMP, electromagnetic pulse. If there is a knockout of the whole electrical grid system, Bitcoin's gone. It's toast. So there's always a risk to everything. So if you want to guarantee, go work for the US government, get a job, work hard, save money, and give them my pension. That's what our schools are teaching you. And that's nothing wrong with that, except this coronavirus is teaching you that that doesn't work anymore. That's why you and I are talking right now, because all those morons out there who are criticizing me saying I was negative, well, F you. If you're sitting at home without money, without a job and all that, it's because you listen to fake teachers. It could have been your mommy and daddy. So grow up.
And, you say there is nothing wrong with it. And in theory, there isn't. But in actuality, to me, it is. And it's not to make someone right or wrong. It makes me sad to see the amount of comments and emails I'm getting of people saying, my business, from everything I've learned from you that was doing so well, is falling apart. And it's sad. And it's sad to see how many people are getting clobbered and getting creamed. And that's why you say to get out of fake money and fake assets and to consider hard ones like this. What are your thoughts on the stimulus package and what will happen to this over the course of the next decade, especially when we consider your more recent book with Who Stole My Pension? And these are all the things that other people aren't considering too, right? I'm telling my mom, I said, look, Mom, you've got to understand this isn't about the coronavirus market crash. Even if the coronavirus goes away tomorrow, think, how does everyone get their jobs back? And then what happens to the amount of more money they're printing? And then what happens to the pension crisis when that comes along? As you said, 20% of the global population retires in the next 10 years. And I was hoping you could elaborate a little bit more on your thoughts with the stimulus package, the money printing, and the Federal Reserve response, low interest rates, and the type of economic climate you see over the next while, as well as how can someone prepare for it?
Well, so let me just say this again. It begins with looking in the mirror. And if right now you're getting poor or you're more afraid, then you got to change your thoughts. And you may want to, and once you change that, you may want to question what you were taught by your mommy and daddy or the school system and all this. Because right now I'm making money hand over fist. But I practice what I teach. So what I started to study was, how does the government screw us via our money? And you know it as well as I do, it's fake money. They can print it. It's called quantitative easing. So is the dollar going down? Not right now, because 80% this is what I study. I don't study calculus, but 80% of the global debt is measured in US dollars. So then that means the demand for US dollars is going to go up. Thank God you use dollars. But if you use Aussie dollars or Kiwi dollars or the yen or the peso, you're hosed. You see, it's not money, it's just what's in your head. So the US government, as you know, screws everybody. You think we're the good guys? Wake up. I was in Vietnam for one reason, oil, oil. Why are we in Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan? Oil. Wake up. Wake up. It's the rich run the world. So there is the golden rule. And the golden rule is he who owns the gold rules the world. So those other reasons for owning gold. But you go to school, they'll tell you to save money. Now, why would you save money when they just went from printing 85 billion a month to 125 billion a day? Wake up. That happened yesterday. When they say stimulus, look at the paper. I'm going to get richer because I'm in debt. They're protecting those that are in debt, the rich who are in debt, but they screw the poor and middle class who are in debt. You better wake up. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying what to do. Wake up, first step. So you look at the real problem. The problem isn't in the stock market. The problem's in the shadow banking system, the repo market, the corporate credit market, and the commercial paper market. The average schmo out there has never heard of those things. They know the Dow, they know the NASDAQ, they know the S&P. Losers. You got screwed. Now you can say, oh, you shouldn't say that. But I said, okay, got fucked. How's that? You sound better now? So wake up. And how long, but Jake, how long have I been saying the same stuff?
A really long time. I started to think you were crazy after I put all my money into gold and silver and nothing was happening. I said, I hope he's not insane. Because it happened, and I know.
And the gold and silver markets manipulated. There's three markets in gold and silver. There's the futures, okay? Then there's the paper, which is GLD, SLV, the ETFs, and there's physical. So you look at the disconnect between the futures price and the hard asset price, the actual price. So the price in the futures market is lower than what you can buy from my dealer. And why is that? It's because they manipulate it. So when the futures price goes down, it's good news for me because I just buy more of it. If you can get it. I said this on Kitco. Everybody should tune into Kitco. They want to find out about hard assets, kitco.com. But I said, look, and Jim Records, he's a good friend of mine.
I interviewed Jim, yeah.
Yeah, he's a good man, smart man, boy, he's smart. But anyway, it's not how much gold or silver costs, it's how many ounces do you have? How many ounces of gold and silver do you have? That's the question. It's not the price of it. Because what happens with gold and silver, it goes into hiding. Like toilet paper and guns, and gold and silver go into hiding. So it's called the floating market for gold and silver is drying up. The price goes up and down. But what is available for you and I to hold physically in our hands is disappearing. So there's going to come a time, maybe tomorrow, maybe 10 years, when you're going to realize there's no gold and silver physical, the real stuff, what you hold in your hands. But there's going to be a lot of dollars, but there's going to be very limited gold and silver. So I've always said to people, start with silver. It's $20 today. If you can't afford $20, you got some serious holes in your head. If you can't afford $20, you're screwed. And I don't mean ETFs. I don't mean futures contracts. I mean, just go down to your dealer. Try and buy silver today. They won't sell it to you. That's how bad the market, but the price is going down, but you can't buy any of it. So when you sit there, you go, well, I can't buy silver, but the price is going down. Tell me, Jesus, what should I do? Well, you better read some fucking books.